She is facing what the world has told her. You get a choice, and it's not a good time, and you didn't plan this, and it's an accident. I think God doesn't make accidents. He doesn't make mistakes, and nothing is unplanned to him. And if that's true, then no baby, no matter color, size, special need, no baby is outside of what he planned. And I felt like if you introduce the mom to the one who saves, then she's more likely to choose that for her child.
Sure.
So we can save two instead of just one. Our new motto is a baby changed everything.
So hello, Donna. Would you take just a minute? Thank you for visiting with us today.
Sure.
Great to have you. But would you take just a minute and introduce yourself for those that may be watching and listening?
Absolutely. My name's Donna Gallagher, and I'm the new Executive Director of the Pregnancy Resource Medical Center here in Rosenberg. And I'm pretty new to the Houston area. I've been here for about 2 years.
Oh, really?
Going on 3, yes.
Okay.
So everything's new, but I have grandbabies here, so that's going to keep me here for a while.
So I don't need to ask the question, what brought you to the area, right?
Grandbabies, grandbabies.
Well, but would you do something related to the Pregnancy Resource Medical Center, which you're director of, right? Would you just tell us what the mission and vision of the Pregnancy Resource Medical Center is and how it impacts our local community?
Okay. Our mission is to meet women who find themselves in a difficult, unexpected, unplanned pregnancy, and they don't know where to go. They may or may not have support. They are very emotional, and they come into our center, and I believe they come in because the Lord leads them in, because they could go to Dollar Tree and get a pregnancy test. But they come in to find somebody that will talk to them, comfort them, speak truth into their life. And so they will come in and we'll give them a pregnancy test. If they are abortion-minded or abortion vulnerable, we provide a sonogram for them. They can have a sonogram done where they can actually see the baby growing inside. We have donors that make the sweetest things. They'll make little baby caps and booties and blankets, and we give a mom that has a positive pregnancy test, we'll give her something like that so that she'll have a visual of what is going to be inside of those little boots or that little hat. And once they go through that, we have a program called LEAP. It is Learn, Earn, and Plan. And it's designed to help these mothers get the resources they need, because let's face it, having a baby is expensive. And so we have donors have given us diapers and wipes and baby furniture and baby clothes and toys and all of the things that it takes to care for a baby. And we want to give those to our clients, and yet we want to respect their dignity and let them earn that. So they'll come to parenting classes, they'll come to classes learning how to be a parent, how to raise their children, and sometimes we're doing Bible studies with them. They earn points, and those points they turn in for diapers and clothes and the things that they need. So it gives them some kind of an ownership of, I've earned this for them. And we allow those clients to continue to come up until their child's 3. And at that time, they're on their own, and we hope that we have prepared them to handle life better.
That is great. Now, I'm glad to hear kind of some of the details of the plan, of the process that's in place there at Pregnancy Resource Medical Center, because sometimes the accusation, or I don't know if the accusation is the right word, but sometimes the claim is pro-lifers only care about the baby when it's in the womb. They don't care so much about the mom and after the baby's born and all of the challenges that come along with that. But what you just described tells us that's not the case.
I worked at a crisis pregnancy center in Alaska about 25 years ago. And I think that's what impressed me as well, because I was a little apprehensive, like, I don't want to get into the politics of this. But recognizing that a woman can go anywhere to get a pregnancy test. They can go to a doctor, they can go to, Dollar Tree, they can go anywhere. But for whatever reason, they're coming in to see us. And I know, being a faith-based organization, that we had some truth that they needed. So I believe that the Lord brings them through the doors, waiting and needing to hear some truth. Now, I don't know what the truth is they need to hear. Maybe it's about abstinence. Maybe it's about sexual purity. Maybe it's about learning who the Lord is. But they need some truth. So our job is to kind of seek that out. And I felt like if you introduce the mom to the one who saves, then she's more likely to choose that for her child.
Sure.
So we can save two instead of just one. So my focus when I first started in this was not just the baby.
Yeah.
It was help the mom make better choices, and she'll make them not for this one, but for the next baby and the family and the community.
And I think that perspective and that what y'all are playing out, what you're doing, how you're serving not just the pregnant mom, but the mom who chooses to stick with the resources and the available education and stuff. That's not just unique to Pregnancy Resource Medical Center. That's something that many of these pregnancy resource agencies have taken on. It's just, I really do believe it's a misconception out there of the pro-life perspective.
When I first started working here at the Pregnancy Resource Medical Center, and I kind of Googled Pregnancy Resource Medical Center, there is a lot of bad that is being propagated about what we do. But when our clients leave, they fill out a survey, and they get to tell us, what did we do right, what did we do wrong, so we could do this better. And by and far, the majority were so thankful that somebody was kind and compassionate and gentle and not trying to force them to make a decision. It's their decision. We're just helping them to think through, get past the emotion, and let's start thinking about your options that you have.
So it's not the ladies who you have the privilege of serving that are doing that sort of negative media, if you will. Yeah, it's others outside of that, because the services and the care for the baby and the mom are there.
Right.
And you've told us all about that, kind of in some detail about how Pregnancy Resource Medical Center does that. I want to ask you, without giving names or divulging any sort of identity or anything, do you have a particular story in mind that's kind of a standout of a way that Pregnancy Resource Medical Center in the recent past, since you've even been there, has served and the Lord has used y'all to change a baby and a mom's life?
Yes. I think my first 2 weeks there, we didn't have enough volunteers at the time to do all the clients that we had. And we had a client in one office, we had a couple not married in another class, in another counseling room, and they were like, are you up for going in and praying with the client? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. And so I got to go in there. Somebody else went into the other one, and all three of them accepted Christ. And they were both positive, but even mom and dad both accepted Christ. So that was a really good day.
Sure.
And it is validation and affirmation that we're right where the Lord wants us to be there when people are in crisis, and to be the hands and feet of Jesus to them, to love them, accept them, and help them make wiser choices and give them the information that they need and the truth that they need. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes they don't want to hear the truth. But even if they need a cup of cool water, you're still planting a seed for them.
Yeah.
And I was doing that here and at the other pregnancy resource center until some people had heard about what I was doing, and they were like, hey, can you teach us how to do that? And I'm like, sure, anybody can do this.
Yeah.
But I had started a new intake form, and I felt like nobody's trained me. I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do? And the Lord was like, just do what you do best. I'm like, okay, I'll clean everything up. And then I looked at the intake form, and I, thinking about how the Lord must be bringing these women in because they could go anywhere. And I added spiritual counseling to the intake form. One, because I'm a certified biblical counselor, but I recognize there's something else drawing them in here. And sometimes they would come with a negative test, but they wanted somebody to talk to. Mm-hmm. They wanted somebody to answer some questions that they had. And so my very first client, when I first started working at a pregnancy resource center, checked the box. I want spiritual counseling along with a pregnancy test and this and this. And I almost got so excited I almost didn't give her a pregnancy test, but I did. And then I asked her why she checked that, and she said, I've been going to churches all over town, and not one church is telling me the truth, and I just want to know the truth. And I said, oh, I'd love to tell you the truth. And she said, great. And so I shared with her the gospel, and she accepted Christ. Wow. And I never saw her as a client again. So wow. I felt like that was affirmation. Yeah. Again, that it's really important for us to see, yes, she may think she's pregnant, but God has a bigger plan here. And he knows her better than I know her. And so our counselors pray before they go in and see a client, because they don't know what they're going to get when they walk in the door. And they want to not say the wrong thing. They want to say the right thing and be able to reflect their walk with the Lord with them. Mm-hmm. But we had about 1,669 clients this year. And of those, 365 wanted to hear the gospel. That's kind of amazing to me. 19 of them accepted Christ. That's 86 wonderful. Of them rededicated their life. And I've not seen any negative surveys that have come back because they all get to fill that out. Yeah. And all of them it's warm, it's comforting, it feels like home. The counselors were so kind, so gentle. Right. So
in that moment, you have the privilege of being there to show them compassion, to show them care and concern, to love them in the Spirit of Christ, and to offer the truth to them in love with no coercion, right?
No coercion,
And that's why you're not receiving bad reviews or anything like that.
Not from our clients.
Right.
Maybe from the other political side of the spectrum, but not from our clients.
Let me ask you, from the outside, how can churches or individuals partner with the Pregnancy Resource Medical Center to support mothers and promote the sanctity of life?
I've been really amazed at the churches that have contributed financially. Some give us donations. Some will do our baby bottle boomerang, where once a year they'll fill up baby bottles of change. And we have, I have some churches that are coming together to help clear some debris off of our property that the hurricane left. And I have others that go around getting items, baby items. Some people will get on Amazon and just send us diapers once a month on a subscribe basis, so that, because we gave out over 26,000 diapers this past year. That's a lot of diapers, really. But to have people that will go and just, I have a family that lost a child, and so once a year at the time of that loss, they will bring us a basket of baby items to give to a new mother in honor of their son that had passed away about maybe a week later. And getting to pray with that family and encourage them is meaningful to them, but to have other churches recognize, if you can knit something or have time to come to the center to help us clean something out or to enter data in a database, or there's dozens of ways to serve and help these mothers. You don't have to be a counselor to go in and work. We have quite a few of our volunteers don't do that. They do a lot of other things. We've had one gal comes in and she highlights Bible verses, the Roman road. So when they are offered a Bible and they want it, it's flagged and it's highlighted so that they can take it home. And we actually ran into somebody this past year that had her Bible from 5 years ago with the flag still in it, and she takes it to church with her. And her husband says she still pulls the flags out and uses the exact same verses that were highlighted for her. So I was happy to tell that particular volunteer, you've made a difference in somebody's life. You don't realize what you're doing and the impact that it has on another
Lots
person.
of ways to serve and to volunteer. Give financially, but then lots of ways to volunteer and contribute as the organization cares, not just for the baby, but for the mom and the needs after the baby is born and stuff. Yeah, very good to hear. So as we wrap up, as we reflect on Sanctity of Life Sunday, the Sunday when once a year, many, if not most evangelical churches in the United States will focus on the biblical concept that God has made each one of us in His image, and that there is a sacredness to all human life. What is the message of hope and encouragement that you would like to share with listeners, with viewers, about the value of every human life?
That's a great question. And what comes to mind is when a mother comes in and she is facing what the world has told her, you get a choice, and it's not a good time, and you didn't plan this, and it's an accident. I think God doesn't make accidents. He doesn't make mistakes, and nothing is unplanned to Him. And if that's true, then no baby, no matter color, size, special need, no baby is outside of what He planned for us. And to help people, women, look at this from His perspective. We don't create life, He does. He's the creator. And He has a plan for that child. And our new motto is, a baby changed everything. It changed everything.
Absolutely.
2,000 years ago, when there was an unwed mother finding herself pregnant and having the culture look at her and the law say stone her, that baby changed all of our lives. And so every baby matters, because that baby's going to grow up to change somebody's life.
That's a good reminder that you bring in as we're wrapping up. There was a man who was a righteous man, the Bible tells us, Joseph, who wouldn't do what the culture wanted him to do. But he chose to do what was right and supported that unplanned pregnancy. And here we are. We have the hope, not just for this life, but for all of eternity because of Jesus.
Yes. That baby changed everything. And everybody's baby will change something.
Amen.
For the good.
That's right. Well, good to visit with you.
Thank you so
for
much.
Sharing your heart and sharing with us a little bit more about Pregnancy Resource Medical Center. And we're just excited to be a partner in a small way with what God is doing through you guys.
Right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.